I'm going to show you some images of the work I've been doing so far on my first episode. So here is some images. Promise fulfilled, and I'll show you a bit of the process. I started working on my first episode, this is not going to be episodic right now, not in a sense in which, yes, they are going to be episodes, I guess, very short. This is going to be a bunch of short ideas, which are, maybe happening in the same world, same kind of crazy, nonsensical world. I already have a couple of kind of like favorite characters which interest me, and maybe with those characters I will do something a bit more serialized eventually. For this first chapter, I'm already working on the first panel. I would say I already finished the first panel. That's what I'm going to show you here on the video, because that's all I have right now. It's going to be an establishing shot, which I hear is the best way to begin. I was working on this kind of landscape, the place where the action is going to be taking place. This was a bunch of work. This made me think about how easy it is to just waste a lot of time on this kind of work. Just doing a bunch of things, little details that maybe are not worth it, that might most likely will go unnoticed. So really, as an artist, you are looking at the work you're doing with a magnifying glass, and you're in a position, you put yourself in a position where you are able to see every mistake or every shortcoming, and you also look at these images for a long time. This image at the end of things, I'm not sure. I'm going to make maybe a carousel version, and I would like to print this eventually. So people would have a bunch of time to look at the images, but the main format of this is going to be the video, the digital comic format, kind of motion comic. And in that one, this panel is going to be on screen for it looks cool. I put a little wobbling effect I found on internet, very cool app which lets you do that, and it looks good, so I might leave it for up to 10 seconds, between 5 and 10 seconds. I know 5 sounds better, but it looks pretty cool. So, and with maybe some music or something, it would hold up the 10-second mark. So most people, unless they pause the video and kind of like examine it, are not going to really catch a lot of the detail or the lack of it. So in this case, in this kind of production, I do believe it's better to just kind of get it done, kind of good enough, the basics, what something that works, and keep moving. I don't really, as a creator, as a creative person, I don't really like that approach. I understand that in this position, when you are a creator, like on YouTube, and you want to make a living out of this, might be better to keep moving, get things working, good enough, well enough, and keep moving. But if you can afford to spend a little more time on your work as a creative, as an artist, I think you should go. There's a lot of talk against perfectionism, and I don't know if I would call it perfectionism, but when you have a picture in your mind or a sound in your mind or something that you want to create in your mind and you start working on it, sometimes even when there's not a very clear image in your head, sometimes when you start working you find it, maybe painting or drawing. You are not sure exactly what you're going for, but in the process of drawing it you create shapes you weren't contemplating, and your brain kind of processes them and kind of directs them towards what you're thinking about, what you want, and you find answers for that. You start seeing how it might turn in the thing you are trying to create, even if you are not really sure what that is yet. And while you are on that path, on that process, when you're not done, when the work is not finished, when it starts kind of looking, you're kind of aware every step of the process, what you're doing and how the work you're doing is making you feel. And when you get to the point when you feel like it's done, and you can get to that point. I know a lot of artists can take all of this approach to an extreme and maybe actually get caught in perfectionism. But you have to be aware of that. But I think it's usually most of us who are creating something, we can get to a point where we feel pretty happy about it. And I think we should strive for that. This whole mentality, it's just do the work as good as you can and keep working and doing more work, right? That's cool if you're trying to produce quickly or you just want to work fast, post constantly. Depends on your goals. But if your goal is to create something good, something honest, sincere, I'd say you should spend as much time as you need to make that work make you feel satisfied enough. Very satisfied. I'd say it is worth it to spend all that time that it takes you to take every work to wherever you want to take it. That's actually the point of art, right? You want to create what you want to create, not something that is halfway there. And you want, when you receive people's opinion on that, you want their opinion on something you kind of very intently created and that you feel completely satisfied with, right? Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense. So, well, that's pretty much it. I think I shared with you the work I did on that episode, that first episode. The episode itself, I don't know. It might take me... I'm trying not to, waste a lot of time, but I'm still finding my way, which requires an investment of time. So I'm not sure. For example, with this castle scene, I spent a lot of time on it, a couple of days, so which is not optimal. But I did learn a bunch of things in the process, which are going to help me work faster later, so I'm not sure. Well, I'll say maybe a week for that episode to be done, I hope. Either way, I'll keep sharing the process and any other thing that comes up. Thank you for being with me, and hope you enjoyed. Take care.
Ah, sí, está escuchando.